What if fear isn't the thing you run from, but the thing you run toward? What if it's not a wall meant to stop you, but a doorway, a clue that you're about to step into a new chapter? That's right. You don't wait for fear to subside. You charge into it head first, like a lion pouncing on its prey. You lean in, knowing it's the signal that you're on the brink of breaking free from those invisible chains that have been shackling you, keeping you small, keeping you safe. And you don't want that anymore. Here's the thing. Fear doesn't own you. It's a signal, not a prison sentence. And when you lean into it, guess what happens? You get stronger. You see, each time you act despite that fear, each time you move forward with trembling hands, you break that cycle. Fear doesn't define you, you define it. And as you start to see results, real, tangible results, you'll notice something incredible happening. That fear, it starts to shrink. Your belief in your ability, it skyrockets. When you have evidence that something works, when you feel it in your bones, you've just conquered that doubt. You start believing in yourself, and that belief, it changes the game. So let's break it down. You've been taught fear is something you need to avoid, something to suppress. But I'm telling you right here, right now, fear is your ally. It's your compass, pointing you towards growth. The more you move toward it, the more you grow into the person that you've always wanted to be. You've felt it before, haven't you? Maybe it was that moment when you almost spoke your truth, but held back because you were afraid of how others might react. Maybe it was the moment when you saw that opportunity, but fear whispered, don't do it. What if you fail? And you know what happens next? You back away. You stay small. But let's pause right here. What happens if you don't? What if you never lean into fear? You stay stuck. You stay the same. But when you push through, when you say, fuck it, I'm doing this, that's when life shifts. You learn, you evolve, and you create momentum. Here's the science behind it. When you act in the face of fear, you break down old neural pathways that have been telling you to stay comfortable. And every time you face that fear, you create new, stronger ones. The more you prove to yourself that you can act despite fear, the more those new neural connections become your new normal. Think about it. Every time you lean into fear, you retrain your brain. You teach it you can handle discomfort. And discomfort, that's just a feeling of growth knocking at your door. But if you stay comfortable, if you keep avoiding that discomfort, guess what happens? Your brain stays stuck in old patterns, in the same limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. You keep believing you're not enough, that you can't handle it, that you'll fail. But when you act despite the fear, you change the narrative. You make success your new belief. What's the alternative? The truth is simple. If you keep avoiding fear, you'll stay in the same place forever. Nothing changes. You'll never evolve into the person you could be. You'll never experience what you could really achieve. And that's not just a missed opportunity. It's wasted potential. But now, let's consider the flip side. If you embrace fear as part of the process, if you stop avoiding it and lean in, you begin to master your internal state. You take control. You don't let fear control you. You lead. And as you lead yourself through that fear, you start to notice the changes little by little. Your belief in yourself grows. And with each win, big or small, you gain more and more proof that you can do this. That you're capable of handling whatever comes your way. Here's an example. Think back to a time when you did something despite feeling scared. Maybe it was public speaking, or asking for that promotion, or even just speaking your truth in a tough conversation. It was uncomfortable. You were nervous as hell. But what happened after you pushed through? You probably felt a rush, didn't you? A sense of accomplishment. That's your brain releasing those sweet chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, proving when you take action despite fear, you feel better. You prove to yourself you can do hard things, and over time, that's how you become unstoppable. Let me give you a real-life example of someone who made this shift. Let's take someone like Elon Musk. You might think he's a genius or whatever, but let's face it. He's a guy who had some serious fear to overcome. The guy launched a car into space. But before all that, he was just a regular guy, scared, unsure, with a ton of doubt. But what did he do? He ran straight into fear, leaned into it over and over again, until it no longer fazed him. And now the guy's changing the world. Now think about this for a moment. If you let fear stop you, you're choosing to stay small. And staying small is just comfortable enough to feel okay in the moment. But that comfort, it's a trap. It's the illusion of safety. But let me tell you something. Safety is overrated. Safety will never get you the life you dream of. It'll never lead you to the extraordinary, to the life of passion, excitement and adventure that you want. It'll only keep you in the mediocrity of what's safe, but not fulfilling. So here's the challenge from now on. Every time you feel that twinge of fear, that surge of doubt, don't pull back, don't shrink, lean in. Ask yourself, what's on the other side of this fear? What's waiting for me if I just keep going? Because on the other side of fear is everything you ever wanted. It's success, it's happiness, it's growth. It's the best version of yourself stepping into your power. You've already done it before. Remember that time when you faced a challenge head on, even though you were terrified. That's who you are. You're a person who can take action, even when the odds seem stacked against you. You're the person who chooses to break free from the chains one step at a time. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. The more evidence you have that you can do this. So let's go ahead and decide right now, from this moment on. You'll no longer let fear dictate your actions. You'll lean into it. You'll let it be your fuel for growth. You'll take those steps, even if your heart is pounding in your chest. Because you know that's a sign that you're on the right path. And guess what happens next? You get stronger. You get unstoppable. And before you know it, fear is no longer your enemy. It's just a signal that you're about to become the best version of yourself. And that's the real power. So what's it going to be? Stay in your comfort zone or run headfirst into your own growth? You decide.